another episode of Grown Folks Talk. Today we have part 2 of the whole cheating wife side dude scandal. We're going to hear what the wife have to say about why she cheated and how everything went down. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Rise and shine, family. Welcome back to the Truth Factory. Listen, you guys saw just a couple of days ago, I interviewed Thomas Russell on this whole fidelity issue that's been going viral. Well, I now have Tiana Russell here. She feels that she's been misportrayed. It's been given one-sided. So I brought her in so she can share her side to the story, as there are two sides. Welcome in, Tiana.
Thank you for having me, Kevin.
My pleasure.
I appreciate coming in.
My pleasure. Thank you for coming in here and dealing with this all over again, as I know it's been all over social media. And
yeah.
I'm sure it's impacted your life in many ways.
Oh, that's an understatement. Honestly, after that came out, I've been getting flooded with people that I haven't talked to in like years. There's family that's been concerned, and my job is at stake right now. So it's been mind blowing.
Wow. Even your job is at stake.
Yeah.
Wow. Would you say it ruined your reputation in the community, or?
Yeah, it's definitely shaken up my reputation. People questioning who I am as a person, my values, my morality, because I'm very private. So obviously, most people didn't know about what was going on. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to try to explain everything, especially when they're seeing one side of the story. And I hadn't even gotten a chance to even communicate about it. So
absolutely,
it's been tough.
There's this movie, it's I forget the name of it, but I think it's on Netflix. It's called Jane is Awful, or it's something
yeah,
where her whole life is
on Black Mirror. Yeah,
after cheating. I feel like that's what I'm watching when I watch you. Just in speaking to you, I feel like it's like that, right?
Yeah, that
got to see your.
That's my life.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm hearing like Tiana. It's been a lot.
Wow, so they're merging your actual name Tiana with Thought Tiana.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, we're gonna watch the video. If you guys have never saw the video, you got to see it for yourself. Let's watch that video, okay? I want to ask you some questions about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. What did you think when he was asking you, where were you last week, and going through that, and you were recalling where you were? Were you thinking maybe he's on to me, or what was your thoughts?
Yeah, well, honestly, Kevin, before I get to that, it wasn't. And I've seen this in the comments. It wasn't that I was cold. I already felt a void before that. I felt empty. I felt emotionless. So him catching me, which, to be honest, maybe I subconsciously knew he was gonna catch me. I was kind of sloppy about it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how to react. I felt numb. But yeah, it was a flood of everything in that moment when he was asking me, like, where have you been? It's like I already kind of knew. I'm a smart woman, but it was still hard in that moment to come to terms because I didn't want it to come out that way, and I knew he was filming it, and so it was just like, oh my gosh, like what the hell type of feeling.
Okay, I can see a lot of people want to know how you could do your husband like that. Now I want to get to that, but first I want to ask you how did your relationship begin? Can you tell me how that started off with Thomas?
Yeah. So to be honest, I was in a relationship when I met Thomas, but that was from someone I met in college. So we had been going steady for a while, but that relationship wasn't really serving me at all whatsoever. I like someone that has ambition. Mm-hmm. I'm an ambitious woman myself, and it's good to be with someone that matches that. And he just was kind of like a log. He didn't want to do anything, basically. He's basically like a more proper version of Jody from Baby Boy.
Okay.
And so I'm dealing with that. And then Thomas comes, and he's very well-spoken. He's a educated brother, and I fell for that. He was saying all the right things. He was
motivated.
Yeah, he was doing all the right things. So of course I'm gonna be attracted to that, and that's how he got me.
Okay, so with your ex before Thomas, okay, you mentioned that he lacked motivation, sort of like a Jody. We call those guys that don't work,
right?
Don't really have motivation for life.
Exactly.
Of course, you feel like Thomas did, but how did Thomas treat you? in the beginning versus how he treated you throughout the relationship?
Yeah, in the beginning, he put it on. He did everything right. He wined and dined me. Not only that, because I'm not that, all that aside, he listened to me. He actually cared about what I had to say and really wanted to get to know me. And I was with someone that was just basically a rock or a pillow who was just there. And Thomas was more than that to me. So the love was there.
Okay, so you felt completely alone in this relationship.
Yeah.
I heard someone once say that the feeling of laying beside someone and still feeling lonely is next to no other feeling. Is that a feeling that you know all too well?
Yeah, way too well. And I feel like I've had it way too many times. I had it with the person before Thomas, but those situations are different because with Thomas, I invested more. I mean, we're married. I was a wife committed to him. There was no, I couldn't even fathom thinking about anyone else besides Thomas.
Okay.
Because that's who I was devoted to. And when I started feeling that with him, just feeling lonely when that person is right next to me or when you're even talking to that person and you feel like, I don't know if you've ever had this or anyone else has had this feeling when that person is looking straight at you, but you don't feel like they see you. They're not seeing you. And that's what it felt like for such a long time with him.
Now, you saw Thomas's last video, the interview with Thomas, correct?
I did,
And
yeah.
he talked about how you used to do everything like kind of like on a schedule. You never missed it. You always had the food ready. You always just had things taken care of.
Of course.
He explained how you started falling off of that stuff. And he felt unappreciated. Did you feel that way also? Did you feel unappreciated? The way you explain it, it sounds like you guys have a real similar experience here.
Right. Yeah, I absolutely did. I mean, from my perspective, I always did that in the beginning, of course, but it got to a point where he didn't even acknowledge the things I did. Like I love to cook. That's my love language. I love to give the person I'm with, food for the soul. Food is for the soul. And he just stopped complimenting me. He didn't even eat the food half the time. Like I'd prepare a real like big gourmet meal and, cause I know he's stressed out at work and I wanted him to come home to something warm and he doesn't even acknowledge it and barely eats it, and it's just things like that. Or I try to fix myself up and he doesn't notice that I have I fix my hair up or I have a new outfit. I'm like, hey, babe, let's go out. And he's not even looking at me. One day I actually did a test where I had on like my favorite color is red. So I had on a sexy red dress and he walks in and he barely looked at me.
Absolutely.
And so things like that started to add up.
Now, obviously that would hurt. It'd make you feel alone, unappreciated, probably not beautiful to your spouse, right?
Yeah.
But I think many people would say, all those things are kind of nuanced or small in comparison to actually being cheated on. And I think that's why you're catching a lot of flack online, of course. I mean, people know that relationships have ups and downs.
Right.
What's your name? It sounds like things that could be worked on, but you seem to have found yourself in the arms of another man.
Right.
Can you tell me about Rick? How did that start off? How did this happen?
Right. So yeah, there's a lot that goes with that because obviously it wasn't just those little things, but Thomas not showing up for the big things where I'm visibly in pain, and I'm not gonna put it all out there, but I've been in some dark places, and when you are in dark places, you want to go to your partner who's supposed to be your best friend, and when I tried doing that, it hit me really deep. And the thing with Rick, they've been knowing each other for a while since college and business partners. So none of that was anything on purpose. But when I was going through that dark moment, Rick was there. And I just opened up a little bit because, like I said, my mind wasn't focused on trying to be or get with anyone else. But when I started to open up, the only person that was there was Rick and not my own husband. And it just started to escalate from there. We got closer and emotions became involved and Yeah, it got deeper.
Well, it is understandable that you found solace in someone who seemed to understand and support you. But can you tell me about your feelings and your affections towards Rick?
Hmm.
Like, did you begin to care about him? Did it become more than just him being there for your emotional needs?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Was it after you opened yourself up to him?
it was a gradual thing. After I opened myself up to him, Rick started doing things that I didn't ask of him, just noticing the little things that Thomas wasn't doing. And it wasn't intentional on any of our ends. It just happened. And that's how we got closer. You know, he was doing all the things, literally all the things that Thomas wasn't doing that I had asked him to do for years.
Okay. Now,
And
with all due respect, I know the listeners have been watching and they're listening to you, and while you may have had a difficult troubling relationship to say the least
yeah,
with Thomas, I mean Rick is his best friend, right?
I get that.
I heard him say in the last interview that they were best friends. They built a business together. He came to his house. Like, why Rick? Why Rick? Why would you find yourself in the arms of Rick?
Well, Rick was, like I said, he was there. I mean, it wasn't, the heart wants what it wants. It wasn't intentional. And trust me, I tried to fight it. Like,
Okay.
it wasn't like I just was like, here, take me, Rick.
Okay, I gotta jump in here for a second. The heart wants what it wants. No, when you get to a certain age, a certain maturity level, you understand something very basic. If you love someone, you care about someone, you will not do anything to hurt them. And that's something that I learned from experience. So that's what I'm saying. This is all bull crap. We all know that there are some people who are off limits. This is why people don't even like to bring their significant others around other people, around friends, around family, because of crap like this. And that all that menial, trivial stuff that she said about her husband, we all have been there. You cooked a nice spread and your man didn't give you the accolades you feel like you wanted. You done got dialed up and your man ain't really paying you no attention. You don't know what's on his mind, what kind of pressure he got on him. So that's not no excuse. You go through that. They was married for 5 years. So that kind of stuff is going to happen. Things get boring, if you will. Things get stagnant. That doesn't give you the green light to trip, slip, and fall on somebody else's, let alone his best friend. But let's keep it moving.
It was more like, man, is this really happening? Like, what is happening? So, to answer your question, he was there. I couldn't help it.
So I want to ask you about this term, okay?
Yeah.
It's called monkey branching. Okay, this term is
Okay.
used when a woman goes from one man to another without a break in that relationship. So she doesn't get healing, okay? She doesn't live on her own, right? She goes right from one man to another. Now I'm asking this because I see a pattern. I know people are going to ask it, so I just want to make sure
Right.
we get this question answered for them, okay? You were with a guy when you met Thomas.
Right.
Well, you were with a guy when you met Rick. Do you see that as a pattern? Is that something that obviously this is everywhere now that you were cheating, right?
Yeah.
But you cheated before. You cheated on the guy before Thomas, correct?
Uh, yeah, it was, I did cheat. Well, I prematurely jumped with Thomas before I
Mhm.
left that relationship, but I left that relationship shortly after Thomas and I started seeing each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So because there wasn't a gap in your relationship, that's why they call it monkey
Okay.
branch. And there's another
Right.
word called hypergamy. It's where a woman moves from one man to a more wealthier man, or a man who can provide a little bit more of a lifestyle.
Right.
And I'm asking these questions because I want to know if you feel like any of these words would apply to you.
No, absolutely not. It wasn't about money or anything like that. Like they're both in business together and I work too, and obviously the business that they do is very successful, but it was definitely just a friendship. Rick and I were friends. I mean, Rick and Thomas being friends, we all became friends together, and so it was just something that naturally progressed, not on purpose. I'm always like I'm always saying the heart wants what it wants, and it just kind of happened. So
Okay, so we talked over the phone, right?
yeah,
And you explained to me that he neglected you, right? That he missed important holidays. Well, you know, wedding anniversaries, right?
Yeah.
You said you had something for me. I know what you're saying is rough, but it ain't enough to me for you to be cheating with his friend. And you said if I watch this video, it would maybe change my mind.
Give you more
Do we
context.
have that video?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's check that video. If we got that video, guys, let's see that video.
All right, guys, today is the big day. He doesn't know that I got it from his favorite store. So I'm gonna film his reaction, all right? He's outside, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll just call you back. What's up?
It's me. Follow me.
Okay.
Sit down. All right. Okay.
Why you got the camera?
Let's see. Okay. So remember that store we went to a few weeks back? The jewelry store, and you saw that necklace you really, really wanted, but you weren't able to get at that time?
Yeah.
Well, happy anniversary. I'll let you open it.
We went back there for this? Listen. Just.
They polished it too.
Yeah, I see that. Just. Yeah, it's nice, but you can take that back. That's good. I'm good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hold on.
Yeah. No, it's just.
Did you forget again?
What do you mean?
Why are you acting like that? You forgot the anniversary again, didn't you?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh my God.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? You forgot again.
I don't celebrate.
We already had this conversation. We had this conversation.
I don't celebrate these dates. I don't celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving. I don't celebrate Easter. I don't celebrate.
Okay, but we talked about dates that are really meaningful to us.
Yeah.
You already talked about it. You said, okay, I'll do better. I'll do better next time. I'll do better next time. Like, we had this conversation already. So why are you acting like this is new to you?
Can you take that away from me, please? There's no reason why you should have got that. I didn't ask you to get that for me.
Okay, that's the point. It's a gift. I took time off of work to get this for you before it got sold.
Who told you to do that?
No one had to tell me. What are you talking about? Why are you acting like this?
I didn't ask you to take off work for me.
I literally got this as a gift. That's the point. You didn't have to ask me.
You could have got yourself.
I do a lot of things. I cook for you. You don't have to ask me. I clean. You don't have to act like. What are you talking about?
That's what you're supposed to do.
What do you mean supposed to do? It's not an. It's because I love you.
Okay, so what?
That's what we do as partners. Like, what part of that aren't you understanding? And I don't know why you're trying to give this back to me. Like, it's literally a gift.
Listen, just take this back to the store, all right? Saturday, we can
Why
go to the Cheesecake Factory. We can go.
The cheesecake.
Yeah, because
that's not our anniversary. Our anniversary is today, and you literally forgot.
We can make it up some other day, all right? Just not today.
You always say
not
this.
Today.
You
not
say
today.
not today. You said not today last year, a year before that.
I got stuff I gotta do.
We all have stuff. I work too. I work long hours just like you, and I still make time out of my day to get something like this for you. That's not fair.
Your work is literally putting lights on in the house and shit like that.
That's not fair.
Huh?
That's not fair.
It's making a little fan.
It's not a fair comparison.
Yes,
You know
yes,
that.
it is. Yes,
No,
it
it's
is.
not. Yes, I know you make a lot more. Okay, who cares?
Yeah, well, that's why the fridge is stocked. That's why our kids are going to college.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with remembering important dates.
Listen,
I remember everything.
I don't know what we're having this discussion for. I don't know why we're having this discussion for.
Because obviously we're having this discussion because you forgot again. Year after year, you keep forgetting. Year after year, literally. And you say, okay, babe,
okay.
I'll remember next time. Okay, babe, I'll
okay,
remember next time. And you forgot again.
Okay, yeah, I forgot again. Just like you forget everything else.
What are you talking about? I forget everything else.
Like you forgot that one time.
I didn't.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
I never forgot that.
That's what I thought.
I never forgot anything. And why are you walking away
were
I told
literally
you I
having a
got
conversation.
I was already on the call with Rick. When you decided to put me out.
You were always working.
Yeah,
We're
because it's
having
important to
this
keep the
anniversary.
freaking lights on.
Okay, the lights are still gonna be on if you don't return the call.
Listen, you know what? Just whatever.
I can't believe you're doing this again.
I'm not doing anything again. You know what? Just whatever. Nothing wrong with that. You're acting childish. Hey, what's going on?
Wow. That was it. Thanks, guys.
I gotta admit, it was very cold.
Yeah. So do you understand the context?
I can definitely see how you felt lonely,
Yeah.
unappreciated, that he didn't love you very much.
Right.
I can see that. The way you stormed out the door, he didn't seem to care very much for your feelings at all. And you were trying to explain them to him too.
Yeah, and that was literally only the tip of the iceberg on things, like I've watched him give more attention not only to his work, but other things, like even material things. And I think in the video, he may have mentioned how he was just doing everything right. He was working 80, 90 hours,
Right.
but like not being present for me ever. And it hurts watching him spend like thousands.
Okay, let me jump in here and say this. Yes, that was hard to watch. Cringy. He was cold. He was already in the middle of doing something. And it sounded like to me, these are two people who got married who did not have a complete understanding on their belief system. As someone who doesn't celebrate holidays and birthdays either, I think that's a big deal that you need to discuss with your spouse or significant other so that you don't have situations like this. Now, thankfully, my husband, we have the same belief system, so we don't celebrate any man-made holidays or whatever. But the fact that she tried to like blow it up and he's like, I don't even celebrate anniversaries. I forgot. Some of these dates, birthdays, anniversaries, Mother's Days, they're important to a lot of women and not so much to some men. So it's like the woman is sitting back secretly all excited and the man is like, what? We could just go to the Cheesecake Factory this weekend. And she's like, no, it's got to happen right now. I just think that she needed to be a little more understanding. I'm sorry, but if your man is in the middle of a business call, you interrupt him to give him a necklace for anniversary, knowing that's not even something that he really wants to acknowledge or celebrate, or he forgets all the time. You can't really be mad at him because obviously it's not a priority to him, and you probably knew this ahead of time before even agreeing to marry him. So I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm biased because I don't celebrate birthdays and holidays either. But we almost done. We got about 11 minutes left.
Thousands of dollars. Like I think he just got a new car, almost like $100,000, and then he spent another $30,000 at the casino. And then in this, cheating expose video, he talks about the $5,000 ring, and people were thinking, oh, she's probably a gold digger. But this ring was $2,000. It was $2,000. Beautiful ring, but I say that to say it's not the money that matters, but when I literally watch you spend money on all these other things, like I don't feel important. I don't feel valued. So it's more the principle. It's not about the money. It's never been about the money.
But none of this stuff that she's saying validates sleeping with his best friend. I'm still trying to figure out what he did that was so detrimental that she felt like she had the green light to cheat on him, let alone with his best friend. All of this stuff is stuff that's going to happen in relationships. You're going to have ups and downs. As my husband would say, you have to take the bitter with the sweet. Your husband has done nothing to constitute being cheated on with his best friend / business partner. I'm sorry. No.
Nope.
Money for me.
Right. Okay. Because many people would say that sounds superficial, like you're complaining about the price of the ring.
Right.
But you're saying if you can watch him throw away 30 grand at a casino.
Yeah.
Somehow him getting you this ring and it costs $5,000 makes you feel, or $2,000 makes you feel like you don't matter to him.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like I don't have much value.
Okay. Okay. Well, so I want to ask you this. Okay. They often say that women struggle with taking accountability. Okay?
Right.
Looking at this relationship, how it ended ultimately, do you take accountability for how your marriage ended? I know he didn't treat you right, but you could have left him.
Right.
You could have went to counseling.
Yeah.
And again, overall, you could have left him and then built a relationship with another person, but you decided to do it during the relationship. Do you take accountability for at least that part? Of course, you were hurt and lonely, but do you see where you were wrong in that instance?
Hell no!
Kevin, there's honestly not a day that goes by that I wish that I could go back in time and do everything different. I take full accountability 110%. It's why I'm going to counseling about it all, even though I'm the one that cheated. I'm the one that hurt him in that way. But at the same time, there obviously needs to be healing for me. I would have communicated and told him that I'm not happy. And I thought that and here's the thing, with women, we tend to want to expect the man to see our context clues. Maybe I know I should have been more direct with him and said that I'm not happy, but I feel like for years I've tried to get him to see me. I've tried to get him to just talk to me, just, make me feel valued, make me feel wanted, and all of that piled together, and then me meeting Rick, it was a lot.
Yes, ma'am. Well, look, I got 2 more questions for you, and
Okay.
I know it's been difficult, but we're gonna get through it, okay? So I asked Thomas a question in the last interview, and he walked off. It was so it troubled him so much. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you the same question. Okay, in the bathroom, Thomas says to you that you texted Rick that you were sore. Now, I asked Thomas how this made him feel, as a man. He couldn't answer the question. But how did it make you feel as his wife, seeing him look you in your eyes and ask you that question?
Well, that is definitely something I did not want him to see. I'll just say this. Yes, Rick was there in many ways physically.
Well, you said you opened yourself up to him. I'm thinking that
Yes,
a little farther than where you've,
physically.
no pun intended.
Yeah, physically. And again, I don't want to put salt on the wound. I wouldn't have wanted him to see that. But yes, Rick was there physically, emotionally. And the nights that I'm lying down with Thomas, I can't remember the last time he had touched me, to be honest. But again, I don't want to put any more fuel to the fire.
Okay, I understand.
But, yeah.
My last question, okay, so because you were dealing with Rick and Thomas, did you consider Thomas's health? Being that you're now sleeping with multiple partners, a lot of times we take, we live in a hookup culture where, so people don't really see cheating as grave as it is, as serious as it is. But I often say you're risking your partner's life, and when you're in a relationship, you should be safe from that, right? But when someone chooses to cheat on you without your consent, you're not knowing that, then you are still now risking your life just as you would be if you were single, just messing with any old person.
Yeah.
And relationships should be safe, right? Did you think about it while you were messing with Rick, the health concerns and potentially even getting pregnant with his child?
Yeah. I mean, Rick and I were responsible. We actually talked about that, and he wasn't seeing anyone else. And I know I stepped outside the marriage, so it's just it sounds weird, but it was just us.
Sure.
And we made sure that we were protected and that I wasn't going to bring back anything to Thomas. So we consider that for sure.
I often say that men should practice staying in man frame. Okay, not throwing your life away in a moment just because things got, challenging. Thomas could have responded in the worst way, and that could have been being physically violent toward.
Yeah, Thomas could have cracked somebody's head.
The name is mine. The name got my daddy's blood on it.
Straight Ike Turner style.
Rick or even yourself. Did you think about things like that, or did you think about his demeanor and, say to yourself, he won't handle it that way, or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't put anything past anyone, which is why I definitely would have done it differently. I didn't expect him to find all that. But, no knowing Thomas and how he was reacting in that time, I didn't feel like I feared for my life, but at the same time, I'm grateful that he didn't do anything more violent. I'm sure a lot of viewers would do things differently, or they said that he was very calm about it, but it's why I just kind of kept it under wraps. I didn't know how I was gonna bring it up to him or what that looked like, just because it's a very high stakes situation. So
Okay. Well, okay. So last thing, considering how this last relationship ended, in your next relationship, and I'm going to ask you if you are what you and Rick are going to do going forward. But in your next relationship, would you do things differently? And I'm asking because you got into one relationship while you were still with someone when you met Thomas, and the same thing just happened again with Rick. I would suggest in relationships before you get into another one. All right, but
Right.
I'm asking you personally, how do you feel about that, being that this impacted your life being everywhere?
right, obviously, learning from the lesson. I jumped from one relationship to the other and then doing it again. But being very communicative and, tending to our needs. And although I don't foresee Rick doing that to me in the future, I definitely will take it upon myself to end something before I jump into anything else.
Okay. Okay, so are you and Rick going to move forward? Are you guys going to be together or have a relationship, or are you going your separate ways?
So, yes, we are still together. We are deciding to move forward. I know and we're prepared to face the backlash.
Right.
I was hesitant to say that because, we're going to work things out and continue exploring what
Wow.
we have. Yeah.
Now, have you considered what if Rick has trouble with trusting you due to how your relationship started off? Have you thought about these small things like that?
I've thought about that, but like I said, he knows me more than anyone right now, and he knows what was lacking before and why I got to the mindset and headspace I was at. So he knows not to bring me to that place. And I feel like if Rick the man is the man that he portrays himself to be, he's not going to allow that. He's going to make sure that I don't even wander. And that's all I want. That's all I've ever asked for. I didn't foresee any of this happening. I'm not perfect. I'm human, and that's all I just asked for.
Okay. Well, you're obviously where you want to be now, and it's good that you are happy and all that stuff. I would say that the next time you're in a relationship, if it's rough, you have to face those challenges head on, work through them. You can't just abandon that person and step out. I often encourage people to go get a plant, and even if it wilts, don't change the plant out. You have to nurture it back to life, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I encourage you to get my book. It's called The Emotional Terrorizer. It's for people when they go through very emotional times, they can tend to do things that's completely outside of their character. And that's up to ruining their lives and other people's. Don't make them bad people, but you can work and amass things and achievements for your whole life. And one mistake when you're emotional can ruin it all. And this book is to try and help people be able to navigate while they're under distress and emotions. Okay, so I want you to read this book and see if you see yourself in it. And I think it has a lot of useful tools that can help you from making.
All right, Wesley, ain't nobody buying no books. Okay, so let me start off by saying, real frank, this bitch is cold. How the hell you still with him and y'all moving forward in a relationship? What good do you think is going to come from trying to be in a relationship with your husband's best friend, ex-best friend / co-worker, business partner? Ain't no good going to come from that. What y'all think? Y'all gonna turn around and get married? What kind of friend? I can't wait to do part 3 and hear what the friend got to say. She's still with the dude that she cheated on her husband with. Like they just gonna go live happily ever after. This lady right here, I'm sorry. Like I said, I still ain't heard what her husband did that was worthy of her cheating with his best friend. Your man not give you as much attention as you want, spending enough time with you. We all have been there. We all feel like that, men and women. But for you to sit up and cheat with his, you know what?
Do I smell a whore?
Y'all, this getting deep right here. We're gonna end this one here. Y'all stay tuned for part 3, where the side dude tell his side of the story. This has been another episode of Grown Folk Talk. My name is B. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.